Can you come up here a sec, please? You don't need a chair. I say, there's been a number of times I've turned up to this press conference and I wish I had these on to answer your questions. And they've had a lot of hammer this summer as well, but just a little thank you for everything that you've brought to this occasion, to English cricket. So many thanks from all the players and from me in particular. So, a little message on the back of it.
They'll come in handy as well. I do chop it over a bit.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. Got a few questions for you later as well. So.
Start with Garen, but you can have the second one, Cloughie.
Joe, would Cloughie get in your team?
Well, if he uses those front pads like I do, then definitely not.
Joe, can I quickly just start off with Jimmy's achievements today? Obviously, it was getting a little bit late in the day, but just sum up his achievements if you can.
Yeah, I mean, what Jimmy's achieved and what he's capable of achieving still is astounding, really. For him to have taken as many wickets as he has, to even be in the same league as the likes of McGrath, now up chasing the big two spinners is a phenomenal effort. And I think the most exciting thing is he's bowling, in my opinion, probably at his best. Throughout this summer he's been outstanding, and can see that carrying forward for hopefully a long time still.
Where do you think he could get to? You said chasing down the spinners, got 3 ahead of him. Where could he get to, realistically, do you think?
Who knows? I think the most important thing is that we do everything we can to prolong his career and give him opportunities to really chase those guys down and keep winning Test matches for England, which is what he's played a huge part in this series and so many before. But hopefully there's still going to be a number of series in the future where he is leading the attack and terrorising batters.
I know there are a number of subplots today, but it took always going to take a seriously good ball to get Rahul out today. How he was batting today and the freedom he was batting with. How good was that delivery from Adil Rashid? You've probably seen it's being described as the ball of the 21st century. The next best ball after Warnes. Just how good a ball was it, Joe?
It was a brilliant delivery. And I think credit has to go to those two guys. I thought the way that they played in that middle session in particular was brilliant. They made it very difficult for us on what felt like at times a very unresponsive wicket. And they, we came off at tea with all 3 results still possible, which for me shows that Test cricket is in a really good place. It's and I think I say that on behalf of the whole series, not just this game. It shows that it's very exciting and that it's, for me, it's still the pinnacle of our sport. And credit to those two guys for the way they played. But Rashid has that in him. That's why we have him in the side, is because he has the ability to change games, to turn situations like that on their head. And, thankfully got us in a position where we could then go on and win the game.
How important was it, to get a series win, but 4-1, considering what happened in Australia earlier in terms of the scoreline in Australia the year, that you're finishing the season in England now before you go to Sri Lanka with on paper, a very convincing win in a very competitive series against India?
Yeah, it's huge for the group. As I said that before the game, it's sort of a measure of where we're at as a side. Having already won the series, it's something that we've got wrong in the past. And it was a great opportunity for us to go on further and to do something really special. And the lads have delivered this week, been really outstanding, and in all departments as well, not just relying on one area. I thought everyone played a significant part and role, and that's what's been really pleasing for me as captain. And hopefully now we can really kick on from this. We're going to have different challenges throughout the winter, but we know where we want to get to. We know there's a lot of hard work ahead, and that we're not the perfect side. If we continue with the same attitude and drive and determination, then we've got every chance of getting right to the top.
Joe, you had two all-time greats playing together for the last time this week. It's just remarkable, perfect how it worked out for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I said it was written in the stars at the start of the week, maybe, and for it to turn out as it has is it's fairy tale stuff, isn't it? For Alistair to go out like that and for Jimmy to finish the game off in real style there was really fitting for those two guys who are really close mates. They're going to miss playing alongside each other, as are the whole dressing room. I think when you saw Alistair's 100, you could see the guys on the balcony, what it meant to them, for him to sign off in such style and grace. And know that it is going to be different with him not being there, but it does create an opportunity for someone else now.
I think he was into his 13th, 14th over there at the end. Were you ever going to take the ball off him, or was he just going to bowl until it...
I think it would have been good luck trying to get the ball from him, especially once that new ball came out. He had that bit between his teeth. He didn't look tired. He looked very determined, and when he's in that mood, you want to just keep him going for as long as possible. You wait for him to come to you and say, "I'm done."
Jonathan?
Joe, it's been a sort of a mixed summer with a bat for you, but your century yesterday, I mean, I'm not an expert, but it seemed like your balance was great and your rhythm was really good. And I was just wondering whether you'd worked on anything technically and how big a century yesterday's could be in terms of really kicking on.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few things that I tried throughout that innings just to try and get through different passages of play, trying to play the different situations that and ways that India attacked us. But ultimately, I had a great driver in trying to stay out there with Cookie for as long as possible, knowing that it'd be the last occasion and last opportunity to do so. It was obviously a very important innings for me personally, for a number of reasons, to try and get a big score within this series and to give us an opportunity to set a game up where we could then go on and win, and to get past the 100, which just felt like forever really in this format. To finally get there it was a huge amount of relief for me personally, but to be able to enjoy that with Cookie at the other end made it extremely special, and it's a day I'll savour for a long time.
We'll do Mel just in front, Jonathan, that's okay, and then Dean.
Just following on from that, what was that sort of whole passage of play like? I mean, you started celebrating his century before he did. What was that like, and the reception that got? And I know you said it was special to you, but that whole time, I mean, did you want it almost as much as him, do you think?
Sorry, say that last bit again.
Did you almost want him to get that last century as much as him, do you think?
Oh, I think everyone did in the whole ground. It was an amazing reception. I think very fitting one as well, but you could see how much obviously it meant to him, to his family. I think once he saw the kids up on the screen clapping, he nearly started tearing up, and then it all got a bit emotional out in the middle. But the way the crowd carried on just shows how much he's meant to English cricket for such a long period of time, what he's actually achieved, and to be out there and to sort of see that up and close, I'll savour that forever. And I'm just so pleased that it all fell into place for him.
It can be easy to sort of be in the bubble in a ground like this where everyone's sort of cheering and thinking that all is well with English cricket. Do you think that English cricket actually is on a bit of a high at the moment, that sometimes it gets kind of not dumbed down but done down by some people, but do you feel as though the game's in an ideal place for you as England captain?
I think we're on an upward curve. I do think we've shown a lot of improvement throughout this summer. When we've had tough days and tough games, we've responded extremely well to that. We're going to have some difficult challenges ahead. This winter's going to pose a lot of different challenges to playing in these conditions, but that presents a great opportunity for us to show some growth as a team, and to sort of show a bit of consistency like the one-day group has. I think that's a great benchmark and learner for the test side, the way that they've grown and moulded and improved over a period of time. So it's a great chance for us to do the same thing now.
And there's been some interesting selections over the course of the summer. Some of them have obviously really paid off well, like Joss and Sam. Do you think that will encourage you and the selectors to continue to be adventurous, to take more risks if need be?
I think we just got to keep trying to pick sides that we think are going to win in any given on any given surface. I think one thing that we've had throughout this series is we've had plenty of options. We've turned up to games with a number of different attacks we could have gone into the individual game with, and I think having a number of different options today, for example, gave me a lot of confidence knowing there was other things to turn to and we could change things up and try different things, and might be different combinations in the winter. We'll wait and see. We've obviously got some important decisions to make in a week or so's time, but before that, I think we just need to make sure that we savour what's been a brilliant summer of Test cricket and enjoy what's been a fabulous win.
Joe, looking forward to the winter and further ahead to the Ashes next year, are there any specific areas that you feel need to be built on and improved? For example, more consistency in the top order, in the middle order. Is there anything, are there one or two areas that particularly need work on?
I think there's always areas where you're looking at improvement. I think for both sides in the top order, it's been very difficult, and you've shown it's proven, I suppose, in this game. You look at the second innings, Cookie going and getting a big 100, KL are all doing exactly the same. I think it's just, that proves more than anything that it's been very challenging against the new ball on these surfaces, and when we found a surface that hasn't, I suppose, produced those challenges, it's been very different. So, of course, you want to maximise your runs at the top of the order, you want to get off to good starts, but we've made up for that in other departments, and we've been very smart in certain situations down the order. Guys have stood up, taken that opportunity, taken on the pressure situations, and made sure that we've got to totals where we're in the game and have a chance of winning.
Has Alistair's brilliant final Test match made you feel even sadder, more frustrated about his departure?
There's been a few times this week where I've asked him if he's sure he's making the right decision, but you know, I'm just so pleased that he can go out in real style, and I'm sure whatever he chooses to do next, he'll be just as great at it. And whether that's farming, whether that's sat there with you guys or whatever, I think he'll look back on this week and have some really fond memories. Not just this week, obviously, a fantastic career, but for it to finish how it has is really special.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
We're going to do Jimmy Anderson now. We're going to have a 12 noon tomorrow embargo on this one for everyone, and then we'll do a follow-up.